My name is Adrian Cole. I'm 26 years old, from Manchester, England, a city of wet pavements, yellow streetlights, and apartment windows that always seem to be hiding a secret. I used to believe that the most dangerous moments in life came with warning signs, raised voices, broken promises, footsteps running toward you in the dark. I know now that sometimes danger begins quietly. Sometimes it begins with a knock, a smile, and a woman saying your name like she's been waiting for you longer than she should have. This is the story I've never told anyone. I call it I Delivered Food. She invited me inside and shut the door. It happened in late October, on a night when the rain came down in thin silver lines and made the city look blurred around the edges. At the time, I was working 2 jobs. During the day, I was a junior account coordinator at a marketing firm near Deansgate, one of those sleek offices with glass walls, fake plants, and people who spoke about brand emotion like they were discussing religion. At night, I delivered food to cover the rent on my tiny flat and the debts my father had left behind when he walked out of our lives with nothing but a suitcase and a muttered apology no one believed. My mother still called me every other evening, pretending she was checking whether I'd eaten when really she was checking whether I was becoming him. "Don't work yourself into the ground, Adrian," she always said. "I'm fine, Mom. You always say that when you're not." She wasn't wrong. That night, I'd already done 6 deliveries. Cold chips, sushi, a bottle of wine, and overpriced pasta to a couple who barely looked at me when they took the bag. My phone buzzed again just after 9:30. One final order before I could go home. Thai food. High-end address. Large tip included. I almost declined it because the building was an Alderley Edge, farther than I liked to go that late. But the extra money looked too good, and I was tired of choosing between sensible and necessary. So I took it. The drive out was long and wet, the kind where the wipers become hypnotic. When I finally reached the address, I slowed the car and frowned. It wasn't an apartment block or a normal townhouse. It was a large, modern house set back from the road behind black iron gates that were already open. Soft amber lights glowed behind enormous windows. Everything about the place looked too polished, too quiet. I grabbed the delivery bag, jogged to the front door, and rang the bell. No answer. I checked the app. Correct address. I rang again. This time I heard footsteps, slow, unhurried, and then the door opened. For a second, all I could do was stare. She looked to be in her early 30s, maybe a little older than me, wearing a cream silk blouse and dark trousers, as though she'd only just come home from work and had forgotten to change. Her hair was loosely tied back, a few damp strands framing her face. She wasn't dressed dramatically, wasn't trying too hard, and maybe that was why she felt so arresting. She had the kind of beauty that didn't ask for attention. It simply assumed it would get it. Her eyes flicked to the bag in my hand, then back to my face. "You're late," she said. Her voice wasn't angry. If anything, it sounded distracted. "Traffic was bad," I replied. "Sorry." For a moment, she just looked at me, as if she were searching my face for something. Then she gave a faint nod. "That's fine. Come in." I blinked. "Sorry." "Come in," she repeated. "It's pouring." Normally, I would have smiled, handed over the food, and left. But something in her expression held me in place. She looked calm, composed even, but not at ease. There was tension beneath the surface, something tightly wound. "I'm not really supposed to." Before I could finish, she reached for the bag. Our fingers brushed. "Please," she said, more softly this time. "Just for a second." There are moments in life when instinct speaks very clearly. Mine told me to leave, to smile politely, make an excuse, and head back to the car. But I was tired, curious, and there was something in her voice that didn't sound flirtatious or careless. It sounded lonely. So I stepped inside. She closed the door behind me. The sound of the lock clicking into place was quiet. Still, I felt it in my chest. The house smelled of jasmine and rain. Somewhere deeper inside, music was playing very low, piano, slow and melancholy. The hallway opened into a spacious living room lit by warm lamps instead of ceiling lights. Beautiful, expensive, and somehow cold. Like a house staged for photographs rather than living. "You can leave the food in the kitchen," she said. I followed her through the house, my trainers damp against spotless wooden floors. On the marble counter sat an open laptop, a glass of red wine, and several printed documents marked with red pen. She noticed me glancing at them and turned them face down. "Work," she said. I nodded. "Long night." She gave a humorless smile. You could say that. She took the food containers out one by one, then leaned against the counter and studied me again. You do this full time? Delivery? No, just evenings. What do you do in the daytime? Marketing firm. That seemed to interest her. Where? I told her. A strange expression crossed her face, surprise first, then something else I couldn't place. That's funny, she said. What is? My husband's company works with firms like yours. I don't know why that word changed the temperature in the room, but it did. Husband. There it was. A quiet reminder that whatever tension lived in the house had a shape now, a shadow. I suddenly became aware of how alone we were. I stepped back slightly. I should probably get going. She didn't answer right away. Instead, she looked toward the dark window above the sink, where rain shimmered against the glass. When she spoke again, her voice was lower. Do you ever get the feeling, she said, that your whole life has been arranged like furniture in a room you never chose? It was not the kind of question you expect from someone accepting takeaway. I let out a small, uncertain laugh. Sometimes. She nodded as though that mattered. My name is Elena, by the way. Adrian. I know, she said. That made me freeze. Her eyes lifted to mine. It's on the app. Right. But something about the way she'd said it unsettled me. Then headlights swept briefly across the front windows. She straightened at once, all softness gone. Her hand caught my wrist so suddenly that I flinched. Don't move, she whispered. My pulse kicked hard. What? She stepped closer, her fingers tightening around my wrist. I could hear it now, a car door slamming outside. Footsteps on gravel. Her face had changed. The poise was still there, but underneath it was fear, real fear, sharp and immediate. That's my husband, she said. And if he sees you here, this becomes something else. The front door handle rattled. I stared at her. What are you talking about? She looked at me with wide, unreadable eyes. Then, in a voice barely above a whisper, she said, because 3 months ago, your firm helped destroy my sister's career, and I think your boss is helping my husband destroy mine. The door opened, and every instinct in me understood at once. I had not stepped into a house. I had stepped into the middle of a war. The door opened with a quiet, deliberate click. Elena's grip on my wrist tightened for a fraction of a second. Then she let go and stepped away from me as if we had never been standing close at all. The shift in her body language was instant, almost frightening in its precision. Shoulders relaxed, expression neutral. The tension vanished from her face like a curtain being drawn. Kitchen, she mouthed silently to me. I didn't argue. I moved quickly, slipping around the corner just as footsteps echoed into the hallway. My heart was pounding so loudly I was sure whoever had just entered could hear it. Evening, a man's voice called out. Calm, controlled, too controlled. I stayed just out of sight, my back pressed against the cool marble counter, trying to steady my breathing. From where I stood, I could see only a sliver of the living room through the doorway, just enough to catch movement. Elena walked out to meet him. You're home early, she said. I could say the same about you being awake. A pause. I was working. So I see. His tone didn't rise, didn't sharpen, but something in it felt like a blade laid flat against the skin. Not cutting. Not yet. Just reminding you it could. I risked leaning slightly, just enough to see him. He was tall, well-dressed in a dark coat still damp from the rain, his hair neatly styled despite the weather. Late 30s, maybe early 40s. The kind of man who looked like he belonged in boardrooms and headlines. Composed. Successful. Dangerous. His eyes scanned the room slowly, methodically, like he was cataloging everything. When they moved toward the kitchen, I stepped back instinctively, pressing myself out of view. Did someone come by, he asked. Elena didn't hesitate. Delivery. And what? Another pause. He stepped closer. I could hear it in the subtle shift of his voice. You let them in? It was raining. That's not an answer. Silence stretched between them. Thick. Heavy. Then Elena spoke again, quieter this time. You're overthinking it. A soft chuckle came from him, but there was no warmth in it. I don't overthink, Elena. I notice. My throat went dry. I glanced around the kitchen, searching for something. Anything. That might explain why I was here if I were found. The delivery bag sat open on the counter, containers half unpacked. No easy way out. Footsteps. Closer now. Elena, he said, you know how much I value honesty. And you know how much I value privacy. Their voices were almost level, but beneath them ran something volatile, something coiled tight and ready to snap. Then, his footsteps stopped just outside the kitchen. I froze. Every muscle in my body locked as his shadow stretched across the floor toward me. For a moment, nothing happened. Then he stepped inside. Our eyes met instantly. There was no confusion in his expression, no surprise, just recognition, not of who I was, but of what I represented. "Well," he said slowly, his gaze flicking over me, taking in the damp jacket, the delivery bag, the tension I couldn't hide. "This is unexpected." Behind him, Elena appeared in the doorway, her face carefully composed. "He was just leaving," she said. I swallowed. "Yeah, I was just." "Stay." The word cut through the air. It wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. I looked at him, unsure if I'd heard correctly. "I think," he continued calmly, stepping further into the kitchen, "it would be interesting to understand why my wife invited a delivery driver inside and then hid him when I arrived." Elena's jaw tightened. I didn't hide him. "No," he said lightly. "Then why does he look like he's about to run?" "Because I should be," I thought. But my feet didn't move. Because somewhere beneath the fear, something else had taken hold. Curiosity, and something dangerously close to anger. "I didn't do anything wrong," I said, my voice steadier than I felt. His eyes returned to mine, sharp now. "No," he said. "Not yet." The room seemed smaller suddenly, the air heavier. Elena stepped forward. "This is unnecessary." "Is it?" he replied, still looking at me. "Because from where I'm standing, this feels very deliberate." He moved closer, slow, measured steps until he stood just a few feet away. I could smell his cologne now, something dark and expensive. "What's your name?" he asked. "Adrian." "Adrian," he repeated, as if testing it. "And you work for which firm?" I hesitated. Elena's eyes flicked to mine, just for a second. A warning, but it was too late to lie convincingly. I told him. Something shifted in his expression. Subtle, but unmistakable. "Ah," he said softly. "Then this is more interesting than I thought." My stomach dropped. He turned his head slightly toward Elena. "You see? The world is smaller than we pretend it is." She didn't respond. He looked back at me. "Tell me, Adrian, do you enjoy your job?" The question felt loaded, like stepping onto a surface you weren't sure would hold your weight. "It's fine. Fine," he echoed, faint amusement in his voice. A word people use when they're either lying or don't yet realize they should be. I didn't answer. He studied me for another long moment, then stepped back, creating just enough space to make it feel intentional. "You can go," he said finally. Relief hit me so suddenly it almost made me dizzy. I grabbed my jacket, moving toward the hallway. But just as I reached the door, his voice came again. "Adrian." I turned. "If I were you," he said, "I'd be very careful about which doors I walk through in the future." His gaze flicked briefly to Elena. "Some of them don't open back the same way." I didn't wait for anything else. I stepped out into the rain, the cold air hitting me like a shock. My hands were shaking as I got into the car, my mind racing, replaying every second inside that house. I should have driven away and never looked back. I should have forgotten her. Forgotten the tension in her voice, the fear in her eyes, the way she'd said my name. But as I pulled away from the house, one thought refused to let go. That hadn't been a warning. It had been a message. And somehow, I was already part of whatever game they were playing. I didn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Elena's face, the moment it shifted from calm to fear, and his voice steady, controlled, like a man who didn't need to raise it to be obeyed. By morning, I told myself to forget it. Go to work. Keep your head down. Stay out of whatever that was. But the moment I walked into the office, something felt off. Conversations stopped too quickly. People avoided eye contact. My manager called me into a meeting within 10 minutes of arriving. "Adrian," he said, folding his hands, "we're restructuring some client responsibilities." "Okay, you've been reassigned." "To what?" He hesitated. "A new account. High priority. Sensitive." A folder slid across the desk toward me. I opened it, and my stomach dropped. The name at the top of the file was the same one on the gate outside that house. Her husband. I looked up slowly. "Why me?" My manager gave a tight smile. "Because you've already made an impression." That was the moment I understood. This wasn't coincidence. It was design. 3 days later, I saw her again. Not in the house. In the office. She walked in like she belonged there, composed, distant, unreadable. A different version of the woman who had grabbed my wrist and whispered in fear. "Elena," my manager said, standing quickly. "We weren't expecting you." "I know," she replied calmly. "That's why I'm here." Then her eyes found mine, just for a second, but it was enough. Later, she caught me alone in the corridor. "You shouldn't have come back into this," she said quietly. "I didn't choose this," I replied. Her lips curved faintly. "None of us did." "Then tell me what's going on." She looked around, then stepped closer. "My husband isn't just a client," she said. "He's controlling everything, from inside and outside. Your firm, it's just one piece. And your sister? Collateral damage." The word hit harder than it should have. "And me?" I asked. Her eyes softened, just slightly. "You're the variable he didn't account for." Before I could respond, voices approached. She stepped back instantly, the distance returning between us like a wall snapping into place. But as she walked away, she said one last thing. "Be careful, Adrian, because now he's watching you." Weeks passed. I stayed on the account. I saw things I wasn't supposed to see, emails that didn't make sense, decisions that felt orchestrated. And through it all, Elena moved like someone walking a tightrope over a fire only she could feel. We spoke rarely, always in fragments, always watched. But something had already changed between us. Not love, not yet. Something deeper, understanding, and maybe the beginning of something dangerous. I used to think life was about making choices. Now I know, sometimes life is about realizing you were chosen. Chosen to see something, to feel something, to step into a story that was already in motion long before you arrived. And the truth is, that night, when she invited me inside and shut the door, she didn't trap me. She revealed the world I'd been walking past my entire life. A world where love isn't safe, trust isn't simple, and some doors, once opened, never really close again.